Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to create your own pinstripe wraps for your Tumbler templates. When it comes to Southwestern templates, I don't typically make wraps for these because they're made of all straight lines and I find that it can be a waste of vinyl to cut full sheets instead of just 2 to 3 inches of vinyl. However, I do understand that this particular set of templates has smaller shapes and would probably take longer to pinstripe. This set of templates is available on my website, elliescraftycode.com, and it comes with 6 different patterns. If you've purchased from me before, you know that if I make improvements to my files or any kind of changes, I send out automatic emails with those updates. So if you receive these emails, don't delete them. Make sure to download the most up-to-date version of your purchase. So let's get started with this first template by centering it to the canvas. In our page setup, we're going to change the dimensions of our canvas to match the template. I'm going with a standard of 9 by 8, but you can always customize the size by matching it to your Tumbler or template dimensions. Now that our template is centered, we need to break it apart to get rid of that outer box. To do that, we select it, click Ungroup, and click Release under the Modify panel. If nothing happens, click Ungroup and release again until you see the entire pattern break apart. Select the outer box and delete it. This template has a lot of vertical lines that form the pattern. We need to add a line to one of the edges here to complete the pattern. Under page setup, make sure that the snap to grid is on and that your guides are set to spacing 1 and division 1. Using the draw line tool will complete the missing line on the edge. Select everything and make a compound path by clicking Make on the Modify panel. To make the offset, click Offset on the Offset panel. I want pinstripes of about 0.04 inches, and to get that, we have to set the distance to 0.02, which is half of what we want. Offsets create outlines along the original template lines, so if we go with a 0.02 each side, we get a 0.04. Click the down arrow once, then select the original template again. Click Internal Offset, then click Apply. This is going to give us a lot of little pieces, so before doing anything else, make sure to turn them into a compound path. Click the down arrow to align it to the first offset and delete the original template. Select both offsets, make a compound path, and recenter it to the canvas. If you notice, this side of the offset landed outside of the canvas and the other side does not have that extra line. That's because we want the long vertical pinstripe on only one side instead of both. This way we cut one full pinstripe instead of 2 very thin ones. To finish off this offset, we select it and place it on the edge of the canvas, which should be at position X0. Now we draw a box around the offset, select both the offset and the box, and click Intersect on the Modify panel. This will get rid of everything outside of the canvas. We draw another box, select both the box and the offset, and make a compound path. And that's it. Now we have a ready to cut offset after measuring our tumbler with glitter and epoxy. Let's move this one out of the way so we can work on the next template. Grab the template and center it to the canvas. This one has a lot of horizontal lines, so we want these lines to extend outside of the canvas to get sharp ends instead of rounded ones. Since this is a seamless pattern, we can duplicate it to the right and to the left to continue those lines. But first, select the template, click on Group and Release. If nothing happens, click on Group and Release again until it fully breaks apart. Select the outer box and delete it. Select everything else and make a compound path. The lines at the top and the bottom will result in rounded edges. So to fix that, we're going to duplicate them on both the right and the left and up and down under the replicate panel. Select all 5 and make a compound path. On the Offset panel, click Offset. This might take a little while since there's a lot of lines for the program to process. Click down, select the original template, click Internal Offset, apply it, make a compound path, and click down again. Now delete the original template and select everything else. Bring it up and make a compound path. Draw a box around it, select both the box and the offset, and click Intersect. That leaves us with only the parts of the offset inside of the canvas. Now if we duplicate this to the side, we can see how it will meet around the tumbler and at the seam. We delete it, create another box, select the offset and the box, and make a compound path. This next template is a little bit different since it's a group of two different elements, the template and the vinyl cutout portion. Ungroup them, delete the vinyl cutout portion. Then select the template, ungroup, release until it fully breaks apart, and delete the outer box. This template is also missing lines along the sides, so we know we need to complete the pattern. Since it is a repeating pattern, we know where we need to add our lines. Select those lines from another portion of the pattern, make them a compound path, and duplicate them. Click up once, type 0 on the x-axis, select everything, and make a compound path. Since offsets create lines around our original template, this offset is going to land at position x negative 0.02, but we want that to land at x0. To fix that, select the template and type 0.02 on the x-axis. Now duplicate the template to the right and to the left. Select all three and make a compound path. If we zoom in and click offset, we can see that the offset lands at x0. Click down once, select the original template, click internal offset, apply it, make a compound path, click down and delete the original template. Select the offsets, click up and make a compound path. If we zoom into our canvas, we can see where our offset will begin and end. Now we can create a box, select both and intersect. If we duplicate it to the side, we can see one side has a full pinstripe and the other one doesn't. I do this so that we don't end up with two really thin pinstripes that cut on each side. This will meet a lot more seamlessly around the tumbler. And if you end up with some unnecessary pieces on your template or your offset, you can always just delete them. Now let's create a box for our offset, but instead of making a compound path and making everything into one piece, we're going to group it. This way, we're only using the box as a guide to resize the offset after glitter and epoxy. Then we delete the box and cut the offset only. This way we avoid wasting this large piece of vinyl. Unless you want to take advantage of that space and cut out a logo or any other kind of decal that you would like in that specific vinyl. So now let's select our offset in our box and group it together. Say for example, you cut your double-sided adhesive sheet template at a height of 7.75. When you're ready to cut the offset file, you know that you need to keep that 7.75 in height. However, you do need to change the width of the template. Say, for example, we cut our original template at a 9.15, then we glitter it in epoxy. That's going to add width to our tumbler, so we do need to remeasure the tumbler and set the width to the new dimensions. Let's say, for example, in this case, it would be a 9.32. After resizing the template, you can just ungroup it and delete the outer box. Then you're left with just the offset piece that you can cut out of vinyl without having to cut an entire box around it and waste vinyl. Now moving on to the next template. This one looks like it might be complicated, but it's actually the easiest one. So we're going to ungroup everything and delete the vinyl cutout pieces. Then we're going to recenter that and we're going to click ungroup and release until we see everything break apart. Then we're going to delete that outer box. Select everything that's left and make a compound path. This one doesn't require that we do anything extra. That's why it's the easiest one. So we're going to go straight to offset, apply, click down once, then select the original template, click internal offset, apply, then we make a compound path, bring it down, select the original template one more time and delete it. We select everything that's left, make a compound path, and bring it back up to center to the page. So now we're going to draw a box around it, and then we're going to select both of those and click intersect under the modify panel so that we can delete anything that is outside of that template box. Then we're going to grab another box, put it around our offset, and again, we're going to group it instead of making it a compound path. That way we can delete that box once we've resized our template and we don't have to waste the vinyl on those edges. Okay, so now moving on to the next one, we're going to select everything and click ungroup and release compound path until everything breaks apart and delete our outer box. Select everything that's left and make a compound path. Now, because this template does reach the edges, we want to make sure to complete those edges by duplicating the template to both sides. We're going to select everything and make a compound path. Then we're going to click offset, apply, click down once, then select the original template again, then click internal offset, apply, make a compound path, click down once, select the original template, delete it. Then we're going to select both offsets, bring them back up, and make a compound path. We're going to draw a box around our page, select the box and the offsets, click intersect in the modify panel so that we can get rid of everything outside of that box. Then we're going to draw another box and group everything together. Again, this way we'll be able to resize our template, delete the outer box when we ungroup it, so we don't have to waste that big chunk of vinyl at the top unless we put anything else on there that we would like in that same kind of vinyl. Now let's move on to our last template. We're going to ungroup it and delete the teal vinyl pattern cutout. Then we're going to select everything, click on group and release until everything breaks apart. We're going to delete that outer box. This one is a little bit different just because the pattern's not complete. Since we've removed that outer box, there is an extra line at the edge that completes the pattern. So to complete it, we're going to go ahead and draw a line going down that other edge on the side. We're going to select everything and make a compound path. Then we're going to click offset, apply, click down once, select the original template again, click internal offset, apply, make a compound path, bring it down once, select the original template, delete it, then grab both offsets, bring them up, and make a compound path. Since we had to complete the pattern by adding an extra line on the edge here, now our offset is outside of our page. So we're going to center this to the page and create a box around it. Select the box and the offset, click intersect to delete everything outside of that page. We can now move the offset back to position 0, create another box around it, select everything, and group it. That's it, friends. We've completed all 6 of those offsets. I hope that you all found this helpful. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comments for me. If you did purchase the set from my website, like I mentioned before, you should have received a link with the new updated files. So I hope that if you ever do need to create your own offset file, this will help you, whether it's for a template that you purchased from myself and didn't include that offset, or if you purchased a different template elsewhere, or if you're making your own. But if you do, like I said, have any questions, please leave them in the comments for me. I try my best to answer and to help as much as I possibly can. As always, friends, thank you all so much for watching and thank you for your continued support. Bye for now.